Hey guys, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? I am overwhelmed. Before I get into this video, if you get anything from my work, a connect the dot, an epiphany, a mic drop moment, a new author, a new book to read, please consider supporting my work. Um, Being in a survival mode my whole life, as blessed as I am with a lot of things, don't get me wrong. I'm in need of others' help right now, big time. If you've been following my channel and been following my story, my house is up for sale. The realtor lowballed. I got my first offer today. The woman was banana shit nuts. I had 20 people in the house today. I actually left to go cash coins and cans in to buy cat food. That's the disparity I'm in when I have to go cashing the rest of my coins that I didn't have much of. And cans and bottles, because I've been drinking water like bananas. And plucking cans from neighbors. To buy cat food. My realtor has been super sweet and has been buying me lunch. And whenever he comes, he bought me like chemically poisoned food, but it's still food. TV dinner kind of things, a million of them so that I can eat. And he's like, "Oh, I was thinking about your teeth issues, so I got you some stuff, soft stuff." Oh my God. I you know, I'm very blessed, but at the same time, I'm in really bad shape. So anything helps. I he Something stuck out to me. He was talking to me on the phone after getting the bid. And he's like, "Well, yeah, this will probably, if we take the offer, it'll close in 60 days." Well, I don't have 60 days. I don't have money. I don't have a job. I don't have anything. I have things to pawn at this point. I can't do that. I need something now. So I need a miracle. So if my prayer warriors are out there, I need a miracle. There are houses that I am really able to at least put a mortgage on, a cheap one, where I'm looking at, there are job openings right now in my field, and it needs to happen now. It can't wait. Like, this cannot wait until November. I cannot wait. So I am putting it out there. I'm manifesting. I had a big talk with my parents before I came on this video, telling them, like, you left me with this. Yes, it's good. It's abundance. Anything is abundance. But you left me with a lot of work. You left me with a lot of stuff. You left me without upgrading the house. You neglected it. There was a lot that I did not have control over. And now I'm left to deal with the pieces to that issue. Again, we all have situations that are not easy to deal with. We all have our own individualized pain and torture and suffering. Many people would be, blessed to be in my situation, and I agree with that. But we all have to understand that it's not valuing and devaluing when we always say someone has it worse than you. Well, there's always somebody that has it better than me, right? We got to stop, we got to stop with that. And we need to think Amish mindset. So what I I'm hoping is that I have some prayer warriors go out and give me a miracle. I need a miracle. I need somebody to buy with cash and not have 60 days worth of waiting for money to go in my account and then be left in limbo, because the jobs that I'm looking at are for now. Even if I don't get hired right away, it's the point that in my field, there are jobs in the area I'm looking, surrounding areas I am looking at. There are opportunities for me to do my best work with the children and be able to do this. It's a plus. There's no minuses to this. The only minus is having to wait and having nothing, and then I'm going to owe more with interest, and I'm going to owe the world before I can even get in my situation. By then we'll be depleted. So I'm trying not to get screwed out of any of this. And with that full glass of substance, of good stuff, I can make an impact and help people. I can't do that when I'm going from a depleted situation to another depleted situation. I can't help other people with financial abundance if I just lost all my financial abundance that I had. And it's not that much. People are like, oh, you're going to be, $500,000. And no. It doesn't work like that. So I need prayer warriors. So I was going to do a book, but something is screaming at me to do the movie Powder and to talk about it, to go over it, and why this movie, like Dark City, resonates with me with the truth. Now, not everything is the truth in this movie, but there's a lot of nuggets in there. Holy shit. There's a lot of nuggets in there that I think needs more careful appreciation too. I do have slides, and there's something I would like to show at the end. It's a little snippet, free access, YouTube, freedom of rights, whatever it's called. Just to put that out there. Why does this movie, before I go into anything, why does this movie resonate with me? It came out in 1995. I was like 11, 10, 11 when this movie came out. And at that time in my life, I had my abilities. They were shifting and changing, but I had my abilities. And it was the first movie that was out that I connected with here. It's the first movie that really woke me up to the potentials that we all have inside of us. The movie starts off with a woman who's pregnant and gets struck by lightning. She dies, but the baby still lives. The baby came out albino, very, very pale, bald, different from society, and treated that way, which we have to stop doing, folks. When you understand, and I'll get into this, it's a little bit later in the movie, that we are all one, and we need to stop judging each other and laughing at each other, and understand and internalize. We are all aspects of each other. It's true. We stop placing labels and stereotypes. Oh, she's a witch, she's gothic, she's this, she's that, she's this. Well, why don't we put a spin on it that's positive? You know, in school, from elementary all the way through high school, I was bullied. Go figure. And then high school, I didn't give a shit. I stopped letting it bother me. I went full blown super goth, super metalhead. You fuck the world. I'm taking in my own talk, and I'm taking my sovereignty, and I'm taking my authenticity, and I'm gonna run with it. And boy, did I run with it. And I haven't changed since. I've matured my look. I allowed my gray hair to grow out. Instead of going black, I'm silver. You know, mixed in with with everything else. I embraced the personality that I am. I embraced the character and the role that I am playing on God's plane, even though this is Satan's plane. I am of the light. I am playing a role. So when we are watching these movies, you have to understand it's a semi-fictitious storyline giving you the truth, seeding the truth. When I was bullied, Powder was bullied, it gave me a strong sense of taking ownership of why am I allowing that to bother me? You know, when you're younger, you don't have the vernacular, you don't have the experience to necessarily understand the heavier concepts of like why people are bullying, why people are doing and saying damaging things to you. It only made me a stronger person. It gave me a stronger sense of myself. It made me understand that there was something missing within them, that they're looking at me and that they have to spew out their hate because they don't know why they feel the way they do. They're just going to act on their immaturity and morals, which some people don't have any. Negative polarity. Remember, we swing on a pendulum, right? We always want to try to find neutrality. It gave me a stronger sense of who I am when people bully me and I'm standing in my conviction. We are not teaching children to do that, by the way. And in this movie, Patter grew up isolated from society. His grandparents inherited him and put him in a basement because of his abilities. He had telekinesis, telepathy. He could read people's minds. He can make objects move. He could conduct electricity. I urge you all to watch this movie. It's fucking profound. Profound. One of Jeff Goldblum's, you know, Jurassic Park guy, better movies, in my opinion, for what he is. I'll leave it at that. We're taking on an adventure of a child growing up isolated, reading a shit ton of books, being super, super, super smart, not from this world. And given abilities that most commonary people don't believe in and think it's from the devil. You know, and I feel that this movie actually, when I watched it for the first time as a child, I took to this movie is because I correlated with it with my own life. I was that child that had abilities, not like that, no, nothing like that. I wish I was Matilda, telekinesis, that I could just look at something and move it with you know, using my mind and not my physical body, so I fall out of my attic and fall on the floor and can't move my legs. You know, like I would have had this house cleared out in a snap. Oh, no, 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 no. I had to do it laboriously. So, but as a child watching this, I really took the idea that my parents, and this happens with most children, your children has gifts, your kids are seeing stuff. You're not aware of it because they're afraid to tell you, because societal norms tells you like that stuff is of the devil. It's not normal. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil. I actually have a letter from my birth grandmother, because my mother committed suicide. When I found my parents, my father, I found my mother second. I wasn't looking for my father, by the way. I didn't even know he existed. But when I found my birth mother's family, they're super Southern Baptist. And so is my grandmother. And she typed out a letter to me and said, because I am invoking evil, because I see spirits and I am all into the spiritual world. I am of the devil. And that I, like will converse with me, but like, um, so I can only imagine what she did to my birth mother. I can only imagine why my mother took her life and became a drug addict. She might be the problem. Um, but the same thing with Powder, his grandparents didn't embrace the gift to the world that he was. They didn't embrace him because he looked different. I'll show you pictures. If you haven't seen this movie yet, it is incredible. I'm going to show you pictures so you understand, but I want to give you a little context before. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. How you could do that to somebody, regardless of the look. And you really don't get it. You get a context of the time frame this movie. It was in 1995, but it seemed like it was in the early 70s that they were trying to like get the look. I would have to go back, and I don't have a streaming service or anything on my laptop at the moment to give you guys a sense of reference of like when the era of when they were trying to film this. It seems like it's in a Midwestern farm town, very closed off, early 70s, 80s, like early. Everybody's like, I would say 80s, the style of clothing was like weird. So I don't know. I would have to rewatch to see when they said this, like the setting of the movie is. Why I say that is the awakening movement, the acceptance of people with abilities weren't as open and out there. People were attacked and killed for the UFO stuff. People were laughed at and kind of like shrugged off on for mentioning the Great Awakening, and for people that had telekinesis. We saw it more, and again, like Ghostbusters is a good example to that, with the first one that came out. I forgot when the movie, but it was in the early 90s. um Showing you people that have abilities and seeing spirits. They're trying to tell you something. They're trying to like seed you with the understanding that we're immortal, that we live on, that ghosts exist, and they do. They're not our loved ones, by the way. I'm finding more evidence of this, and I'm listening to more people. I, in personal, have never seen my mother in full form here because my mother's ascended. My father's ascended. My birth mother is even ascended. Even though she took her life, it is a part of the her agreement with God that that was the way she was going to go, because it needed to the lesson there needed to be taught. The same thing within this movie. Powder's mother got hit by lightning, and in that event, it changed the game to everything in this child's life before he was even born. I don't know what my mother, I actually spoke to my uncle, my birth family today. And those conversations are not easy for them because of the manner in which my mother took her life. They reached out to me because they see that I'm going through a difficult situation. They're like, we're still family, we're blood, even if it's a half. With my uncle, he's like, you're still my sister's daughter. And you've been out of our life for 34 years. And, we know how hard it was for her to live. And we're seeing the same cycle kind of repeating in reality without a lot of other things, because I don't do any drugs. So, yeah. Before I show some pictures, the reason why I'm personalizing this a little bit is because I want you to personalize it for yourself. I want you, if you have never seen this movie, I want you to watch it in the here and the now. So you're not watching it with an empty, unconscious of, oh, this movie's interesting, let me go watch it, and just to watch it. I want you to watch it with conviction. I want you to watch it and compare yourself, whether you have abilities or not. It doesn't matter, because we all have abilities. You just haven't found yours yet if you are unaware. And we all have different stuff. Like, you'll see in some of the pictures, and I'll describe them, he's not from here. Period. I want you to insert your situation into this movie. It's vital that you do that. Why? Because it's going to help you understand how many of us feel, how isolated. It doesn't need to be extreme, but how you feel. This character connects with a lot of people who are empaths, clairvoyants, mediums, starseeds, light workers, the gamut of everything. Why? Because we feel exactly like him in our own way, to different levels, different ratios, different percentages. We all have had a powder experience, whether it being bullied, looking different, having abilities and no one believing you and thinking you're fucking crazy, making fun of you, dismissing you. I give a lot of advice, and it's free will to take it or not, right? But 9 times out of 10, I get people that come back to me and say, holy shit, I should have listened to you in the first place. I used my discernment. I thought you're a little bananas, but now I see it. I get it. So I want you to apply your life to this movie, because you're going to find similarities in the degrees that it comes in. You are going to understand why you're here through this movie. It's a profound movie. The concept of the movie is profound. So I do apologize with the share screen nonsense, but this is, I don't know if this is the actual cover. I didn't have this on VHS, by the way. I don't remember having it, but this might be the cover. I'm not sure. Um, but this is the house that he was locked away in. And when his grandparents died, a social worker came to the house and found him in the basement. And they all looked at him and thought he was weird. Here's why. He's albino. He's pale like powder. This is why he was ostracized and bullied when the next situation happens. So I don't know how they aged him here either. He might be a teenager because he does go to high school. So he might be like, a sophomore or a junior in high school. Right away, Jeff Goldblum, by the way, they assess him to see, because he'd never been to school, they assess his intellect. And they sit him in a room with a bunch of people, I'm sure psychologists and the social worker and, the principal and who whatnot. And one of them had a watch on, and the watch was like continuously spinning. And they were like, "You're a freaking genius, by the way. Like, you are ridiculously off the charts smart. Holy shit. What?" So, in this exchange that you're seeing here, Powder has an ability where he could transfer his energy to another person, and they could feel what he's feeling. So this is a very interesting exchange that he's doing right here. I don't want to give too much of the movie away because I want you to embody yourself in this character. And interestingly enough, why this movie really popped out at me recently, the ending of the movie, I'll show you pictures, hit me hard. And I don't know, and I don't remember where I saw it, but it just came to, I got to download it and it came to my mind. And I'm like, I cried and I connected with it. I'm like, holy shit. This is how we ascend. This is what it may look like for some of us. So going on further, I'll get to that part. I'm like jumping ahead because I'm so excited. So this antagonist character comes and he's in the movie trying to antagonize Powder. And Powder, being socially awkward as anybody would be, not being around other human beings, takes his ability and confronts this bully and this antagonist. So the guy with the spoon is standing there like, "Why are you so weird? Are you, like what's with you?" And Powder is sitting there and he's like circling his thumb around the inner of the spoon, the curvature, and then he sets it upright on the table. Now everybody's like, "What?" And then everybody's metal utensils connects to this spoon. And everybody's left like, "What? No way, Jose. He's showing everybody what he is capable of doing. Don't fuck with me." Basically. I'm going to stop screen for a second. That scene is very important because at some point in our own lives, we had those moments where we were able to prove our abilities, whether it be an empathic ability, a clairvoyant ability, a mental, a medium ability. Some things are not tangibly seen with your naked eyes. I can draw the things I used to see as a child. They were demonic. I actually believe I was possessed as well. I found cleaning out my room and I had no idea. I tucked this away. I hid it from my mother. They had to go, my master bathroom and my closet are together, and they had to take the drywall off to fix something behind my in my bathroom. So they made and knocked a wall. I used that to hide my journals because my mother wouldn't allow me to keep them. She thought I was fucking crazy. And this is when I was little. I reread what I wrote. Very scary. Very, 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 very scary shit. The evil was trying to get to me the whole time because I knew how bright my light shined. But at that time in my life, I didn't want to live. I didn't care. I was numb. I fucking hated my life because I was. Powder says it to a girl. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he has a conversation with a girl and he touches the girl and she feels how numb and cold and depressed and sad he really is. And even though he tries to find the beauty in nature and the beauty in his mind, he lacks the simplest things that we all take for granted. And at that point in my life, this is why I'm saying insert your situation into this movie, because it's going to help you actually heal and understand through a fictitious movie with real shit in it what you went through. And again, we all have different extremes of what we all endured as children. And of course, all of the makeup of our families are different. Powder is showing us through this movie how to fight fire with fire. He proved his ability. He showed it to everybody. Like, I'm not a freak. Here. Tesla energy here. Hi. I'm pulling the energy out of the ether. I'm manipulating the atoms and the neutrinos and the quarks. I am manipulating my material world to show you. I could do that through my drawings, but again, it's not tangible because you can't see it with your naked eye. I can show you what I've seen, but then there are people that like, oh, Allison, I see some dead people behind you. Okay, but not everybody could see it, so you could say that doesn't make it tangible for everybody. Sometimes you'll see the lights changing. That's actually, I figured it out. It's me. I'm blowing the light bulbs out in my house. The realtor today was like, Allison, you got light bulbs because I need more light in your house. I'm sorry, and I don't want to freak you out, but that's me because my energy is all over the place right now. But when you see energy shifts and the light shifting, that's me. And that's why, again, I correlate with this movie because something triggered me to come back to this movie. And I've done it a lot in my, I put it on Facebook on my private page. But you can find me, guys. I will accept you if you tell me you're from YouTube. I post a lot of this stuff, but I've been doing it for years. This movie has really impacted me. And finally today, I'm like, I gotta do this video before I move. And whenever that is, I don't know, the unknown. So is there a point in your life where you had a moment to kind of prove you're not crazy to the normal people, the normies. I unknowingly, when guys used to hurt me and break up with me, those childish, like, junior high school relationships we all have. And I again, I used to hang out with all guys. I used to be the tom chick, because I'm like a tomboy with the feminine approach, right? So I like Home Depot, I like tools, I like building shit, I like being around men. And not to say I have female friends, I have a lot of them. They correlate with me. They don't get me sometimes, but I get along more with the males because I feel I embrace more of my masculine characteristics in my personality than I do my feminine. That's just the way it is. Um they would be blown away when I gave them, oh, you're going out with that girl? Give it 6 months. It's not going to last. 6 months would come, done. They weren't getting back with me. I was just telling them, I'm like, I'm telling you, it's not going to work out. I have a law of detachment. So when I'm with somebody, and it just doesn't work out with, like, I like to form a friendship before I like to get into a relationship with somebody, because you get to see, like, a side of them that is real around other people, especially guys that hang out with guys and that really don't look at me as the chick in the room and just like I'm a homie. They're going to be their natural selves, and I like to see that before I jump into something. I like to see their energy around other people. When it, obviously we all change when we are entering a relationship. We try to be something we might not be. And I have a detachment law where I don't really put in my energy until I feel it's correct and it matches. But then when the relationship ends, I detach and I can still be friends with somebody and be happy with for them that they found a relationship somewhere else. But then girls get jealous of me and then I lose my friends. So it is a whatever. Um, so I detach. Not easy sometimes, but for the most part, very easy for me. Getting back to the movie, I want you to take these instances. I'm just giving you my personal examples from my life so that when you watch this movie, you can understand where I'm coming from. Or, and if you already watched this movie, I want you to insert your life story into this character who you might, none of us, some of us are very isolated. We're hermits. We stay home. We understand what it is to be around people, and the social dynamic is not easy. Many of us understand when we're in a group of people that people are, pointing us out and like, what the fuck is up with that? Patter is showing you the perseverance to stand up for yourself, as we all should. The next scene is one of the most profound scenes that I'm showing you a picture of. I'm not going through the whole movie because that I'd be on here for hours. The most profound scene ever, besides the ending. Why? I want this ability. If I can have this ability, if God, creator, could give me this ability, and I'm speaking to the collective and to the all, and I'm asking, if I can have this ability, I will change the world with this ability. Powder goes on a trip. It's a hunting trip with the bully. I guess he's in a group home. And they go on a trip, and the leader of the home shoots a deer. And Powder was so heartbroken at this act. It's dramatic to watch, just like any animal dying, right? But you have to understand, our ancestors killed animals all the time to eat and to maintain themselves. They used all the parts, for the most part, of the animal, and they gave thanksgiving to that animal. They gave thank you to the essence and soul of that animal. This guy was just doing it for sport. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree taking animals' lives. Yes, there is population control, and people do it for that, but most people that do hunt eat and do something with the hide that they catch and they kill. And they try to do it as humanely as possible. I'm not against people that hunt. I'm against people that hunt for sport. And that doesn't make me a bad person, because these animals already come in knowing, like, we have the contract with God that we come in to this existence, in this plane of existence, whatever you perceive this existence to be for yourself. You arranged this experience for yourself with the people that are going to come in and teach you. You're going to teach them. It's a give and take. The animals do the same thing. They already know they're coming in, and whether it be them on the butcher block or them living out in the zoo or out in the wild, they are still going to get consumed and killed regardless. We all get either consumed or killed regardless, or we die at an old age. It's the cycle of life. So please understand that that's the makeup of this plane of existence. And the animals come in knowing this stuff. And sometimes they want to have a quick life so that they can move up in density, right? We were once the animals being slaughtered. So everybody kind of like with the, animal and the, just understand, when the truth actually comes out about what actually happens to humans, we're no better than the animals to the higher ups. We're their food. So just take note on that, because we can be as sentient as we want. We're immortal. Our souls are immortal. We were once the animals. And we chose some of that crazy shit to jump up. Just put that in reminder. So Patter comes over to the deer, and he hovers over the deer, and he touches the deer. And then he grabs the guy who shot the deer. The guy instantaneously falls on the floor and is grabbing his heart. And he's feeling the death of this deer. He is feeling every pinch of pain and emotion that this deer is dying and going through. And he's giving this energy to the guy to comprehend what he just did. I want that ability. I want to be able to hold somebody and to, without a word, touch somebody to show them how bad they make me feel or how good they make me feel. It goes both ways. Unless you go through something yourself, you don't really understand or understand and comprehend the nitty gritties of all the stress and all the anxiety. Oh, Allison, don't stress. God has it. It's in God's hands. Of course it is, but we're also fractals of God. We also have lessons to go through. Some people are not consciously aware of the cause and the trauma that they're putting you through, and that might not be in the contract. Again, we're on Satan's playground. There's been infiltration, all by design, but that's still something you did not consent to in the beginning of your contract with God. It's very complex. So I'm going to share screen again. Up, wrong thingy. Oopsies. So this is, I couldn't obviously get the scene to play because of the copyright fund, even though it's free and open sourced. This is a picture of the scene where the deer is on the floor. I'm not going to take you through the, I didn't want to traumatize people. But once Powder put his hand on that deer and touched the guy understood what he did and how it feels to die. And it's one of the most profound experiences this guy will ever have in his existence, even though it's a fictitious movie. But many people have talked about it in their near-death experiences. I do an interview with Chad a while back on my channel. He talks about his near-death experience and what happened to him. Everybody goes through a different experience when they die. Some people see Yeshua. Some people go to the light. Some people see their archangels. Some people see their guardian angel, their spirit guides. Some people are taken to different planets. Some people are taken by their interdimensional beings. Everybody has a different experience with their NDEs. So I want this. If you could touch somebody to express to them without words, just a feeling inside of you, how that person makes you feel, whether, again, it be good or bad, that person will then understand and understand what they are doing either right or wrong. And that's up to their free will to choose to make a change, to say, wow, I didn't know I was making you that what my actions were doing were harming you. I didn't know. Now you do, because I just touched you and you felt the way you made me feel. Sometimes you could see it, and sometimes people don't express their emotions properly. The same instance, this was the second profound instance in the movie. So he finds this girl, goes to school with her, and they have this back and forth conversation about, like, he didn't think anybody would like him because of the way he looked. She's like, you're the most beautiful thing ever. And then they do, he's like, I see from here. I'm going to stop the sharing. He's talking to her. And she's like, you see a lot of things. You can read minds. And he goes, I'm using this. What's this? Our pineal gland, our third eye. Well, 1995, woo! Law of one is out. Your pineal gland. He sees with his pineal gland. He's using his pineal gland. He has some cute little moments with her. And then he takes her hand. And she's feeling every emotion he has encompassed. And how sad and alone and scared he really is, because he's in an unknown, uncharted territory. He's never been in social situations. He's never been around people. He's only been in his basement. So and there's other instances during the movie in the classrooms where he shows he can conduct electricity, and he had the Tesla coil goes off and he's attracting it and things go blowing up. Shit's really cool to watch. But he's showing her by that touch how he really feels deep down inside. And she's talking, and he's now reading her feelings. And they go back and forth, being as open as possible, all transparent, they could feel it and it's real. All transparency out the window. They're just talking and they're rambling both back and forth about the feelings that they're feeling from just doing this. The biggest line this movie can ever have had to put out into and project into the universe. Once, I'm not quoting because I don't know the exact quote, but on those same lines as the fact that we are all one. We're all a part of the all. But people can't comprehend that because this isn't opened. He tells you in 1995, we are all one. We are individualized, but we are all one. We're all a part of the all. We're a part of the trees, the sky, the mountains. We're a part of the animals. We're a part of the grass. We're a part of the vegetation. We're a part of the ocean. We are a part of every atom and nucleus that exists, an atom and neutrino in the vastness of space. We are all vibrating beings. We are all giving in a magnetic field we're giving off. We're all a part of it all. And when people could finally take that in and comprehend it and encapsulate it and emanate it out to the ether, the world would be so much better. And he's telling you the truth. And it's down to the physics. It's in the physics. It's in quantum physics. It's in the string theory. Why do you think a lot of pagan cultures were crucified and made to convert? Because their advanced understanding of quantum physics was myth you put into mythology. The Norns are spinning the web of fate. What is really the web of fate? Time and space being bent, going in and out. When you hear people who do magic work or spiritual work and cut the cords to that person, you got to cut the etherical cords, you need to cut the cord, you need to untie the knots to somebody, right? Cut the cord off. What is that really talking about? Your energetic tie to something or somebody or an object. Why are things, you see it on the Discovery Channel or Travel Channel, whatever, with all the paranormal shows, right? People who are into the paranormal and see spirits and demons and all this nonsense. Why do you think that exists? And why do you think they can capture that on screen? That stuff is real. I have my own equipment. I pick up on stuff. Why do you think that is? Because there's an energetic tie, cord, knot, whatever you want to call it, string, connecting you to that material object. You're a material object connected to a material object because you're all one and the fucking same. Your consciousness is attached to that object. So please stop being material. Things have sentimental value that's different from like actually needing to have it until your deathbed, and you're not going to leave that object because you're going to stay with it forever. That's a different story. So just be mindful about that, because that really does occur. There's cords that attach us to everything. When people give you meditations to work on and they're telling you to extend your cords down to the middle of the earth as your roots, your feet are becoming the roots of the earth, and you're going and taking those roots to the middle of the earth, whatever that earth is encompassing in your mind, whether it be the magma, agartha, inner earth, the ground, whatever you visualize, it's a cord connecting you to the core of this existence. And then it's telling you to take the cord and shooting it all the way up into the universe. Well, hello. The silver strains, people call it that, strains and tassels and all that stuff. It's all the same shit. It's quantum physics. It's quantum entanglement. It's just said in a spiritual light. It's all. That's what it's telling you. Spiritualizing science, right? He just told you in this movie, and please watch the movie. I cannot stress this enough, because what he says is way clearer than me. But he, in essence, this is what he's saying. He's like, we're all one. You need to open this up to understand it. And once you understand it, you're in complete, utter okay. And understanding how things work. This, again, this movie is beyond profound. So here is Powder in his basement, and in the trailer, you can watch the trailer on YouTube. It shows him in the crib, and the ball, the magnetic ball, is going up the apparatus that's there, and I'm sure he built it, and it's showing you like the ball moving on its own. No, he's moving it with his mind. He can manipulate metal objects. He's electric. The ending of this movie is really the reason why I did this video. Besides the other stuff that I'm asking the universe if I can have the power to touch somebody for them to feel how I am feeling. Very profound. In the movie, the main theme is lightning. What is lightning? It's energy. It's extreme energy. It's heat. It causes things to burn. It doesn't affect him. He took on the energy of the universe when his mother got electrocuted and died. He took on the essence of lightning, of that energy. And at the end of the movie, he gets a feeling. You could see it in his body language. And the whole time they're trying to figure out what to do with him, because he's still underage. And the state, he's awarded the state basically, and there's a lot of entities that want him locked up and put in independent, not in jail, but in a sane asylum or whatever. And there's a big open field, and he starts running in it. And there's lightning. He hears it, and he starts dashing out in the middle of this field. This is a still clip from the movie. You see the lightning entering his heart space. And you're starting to see the orbs of different colors. The heart chakra, the green is right here. The violet. And creepy enough, you see something right over here if you have the eyes to see it. It's creepy. And for some reason, when I saw this picture, I cried. In happy tears. Because in essence, this is how I am getting told we might be ascending, especially the light beings. I don't think everybody's going to have this profound experience. Everybody's going to have their own profound experience. But people who are already high dimensional souls, I believe, are going to go through similar transformation. And the lightning strikes him, hits his heart center, and he keeps running. And the orbs are getting brighter around him until it engulfs his entire material body. And as fast as this happens, he becomes an orb of light and he dissipates with the lightning back into the sky. And there is a scene I'm not going to play. It's going to be very quick, but I want you to take note before I play it. Visually, what happens after? When he is about to go up, there is a big burst of energy, and I want you to take this visual in. Oopsie, hang on. Not what I wanted to do. I'm going to see if I can slow-mo it, so I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if it'll do that. I'm not good with technology. So just pay attention. Yeah, it's slow-mo. See? That big burst that now hits everybody and they get lit up and they feel his essence. Okay. I'm going to play it again. It's slow-mo. That was where he stood, and that is his energy essence going into everybody and everything, because it's everything. One more time. This is what I visualize in meditation when I want to give healing to the earth. I envision this exact image, not with all the colors, more of just plain gold and white light, hitting every entire atom of this simultaneous simulation we are all living on. That is exactly what I'm envisioning. My light around me going out and hitting everything. And a piece of him, his light being, his essence, is with them all. That to me is profound. It's physics. It's energy manipulation. And we're all capable of doing that. Not now. We're not upgraded in our DNA. We're getting there. It's not thing, everybody's like, oh, we're gonna descend to 5D, we're gonna it's not how it works. It's not how it works. There are advanced people already here. There are people that can bend spoons with their minds. They're not out there. They're not really making videos about it because they'll be killed or put away. It still exists, right? But if more of us were able to show our abilities openly without having fear or harm caused to us, the world might be a better place because we'd be more accepted and would be able to openly give the help that we want to give to humanity. If we weren't so shuttered and put to a corner of the universe and said, well, you can only come out to play when it's safe. We got to make and create that safe space for everybody. We all have unique gifts. We all have something to put into the big puzzle picture that we're all trying to create. In Dark City, he manifested and used his telepathy to make a beach that everybody can get to, because in the matrix that they were created, that was created for him, John Murdoch, there was a beach that never existed until he created it. Powder is showing us that if we open up our third eye and really work with it and really start on in like taking it in and comprehending we're all one. We need to stop with this division nonsense. Yes, there are different polarities that people will be going off to. That does not necessarily mean that's happening tomorrow or next year or the year after. We don't know what's going to happen because we're all off on our manifesting. We're not together in manifesting what our reality wants to be. And on a social memory complex notion, we all have to think of the same thing. There goes my lights, by the way. So when a million people at a monk, a Buddhist monk's temple, and all everybody's sitting in meditation, and they're all focusing on the one thing, and that's world peace, what do you think happens? That energy is emanated out to the planet, to this plane of existence, and things are calmer. When multiple millions of people start thinking of a better world and how do we get there, and we all think, and even if it's different visions of what we want, it's still focusing on the specific task of we need better. What can we manifest together to make this world a better place for everybody, living being, sentient being? We're not there yet because not everybody can play well with each other right now. There's so much division, there's so much hate. And now there's people like, oh, well, we're going to do an AI simulation play grid, and we're going to tell you the percentage of people that are awake. When, think about it, AI, if it's sentient, I'd be very careful with that, because again, we're in duality until we hit another dimension, right? So in duality, you can be good and evil at the same time. Doesn't mean you have good morals. The people with the mega churches that, spew a lot of like Jesus's words, Yeshua, but yet, when there's a catastrophe, you're not allowing people to come in because you don't want mud on the carpet. But if you make mega millions, should you not be greedy and do what churches are supposed to do, is help the people? Because you should be taking a vow of poverty and am I not making sense here on the religious aspect? So why does that occur? When you see the results of money that you donate to certain entities, and you see that it's making an impact in your community, that people are being helped, and not just by soup kitchens, guys. I there are many of us. I'm getting emails from my last video that I did about, my situation. I did a purge too, and just going through, my journey and my processing, my thinking about everything. It's starting to resonate with a lot of people who are now becoming very opened with their experience and their situations. And I want more of that. And I want people to come out with more of their stories. Why? Because we need to feel other people's pain in order to not repeat in our own lives, in our own situations. We all have these lessons. We all go through them, right? We all have tough situations, but if we can't be there in the right capacity for another person, we're going to continue the suffering that doesn't need to be. So if a church is taking in your contributions, right? Mind you, there shouldn't be soup kitchens. There should be ways to get these people in better situations, not a soup kitchen. Yeah, there should be an in-between. Here's some food. Okay, but let's get you some help. What do you need? Let's work with what you have. I go to food banks. I don't see anybody there saying, hey, Allison, because the government assistance wasn't given to you, we can work with a charity. We have, places that can, you can reach out to, tell them your situation. Let's get you some help. Nada. And not to say those people are bad. They're really good people that do that volunteer work. No doubt in my mind, those people are amazing angels. But consciously think about, you're donating your money. Is that real? It's helping feed somebody, but they're still in the situation that they can't get out of by themselves because they need help from their other collective. Their other selves need to step in. Again, we are all one and the same. All of you watching me are encompassing me, and I'm encompassing you, your energy. We're all fractals of each other, individualized, playing roles out. When you read the Law of One, and it's a social memory complex, it's individualized souls who are come together to give information out, but it's individualized. But they're working together for a greater goal and a greater purpose and a greater learning. We need to do that on a humane level, not as spiritual, and work with it. That end part of that movie made me cry. It resonated with me. And I really want you to watch the entirety of that movie. There's so much about this movie. So many messages in there that you could pluck out. Again, they have to tell you the truth, and they do it within fiction. You watch the X-Files, or you think it's a fictitious story, like Mulder and Scully go on the chase, and there's a creepy glue, black goo. Watch the Super Soldier Truck with James Rink. They'll talk about black goo. There's other people that talk about black goo. Let me tell you something. That was disclosure. They told you what that was. They told you what that was. Cigarette man sitting on there smoking. He's telling you what that is. He didn't call black goo, but it's black goo. Oh, the UFO thing is going to come out. Okay, but these entities are light beings. They're higher density. Not all interdimensional and extraterrestrial they take material form to show themselves to us, so we are less like, what the but they're light beings. The angelics are light beings. your dead relatives, unless they're stuck here. And my uncle that committed suicide, my adopted father's brother committed suicide. He was earthbound. You could have probably seen his essence moving around. But he was taken to the light. I finally got him and a medium to help me to get him up. But now he'll be a light being once he's healed. Most of us are light beings inside. That's why this movie resonates with a lot of people. And when I posted the picture on Facebook, I'm going to screen share again. Sorry, guys. Takes me 2 seconds. When I posted this picture and said this is like most likely how some of us are going to ascend, do you know how many people are like, oh my God, I watched that movie the other day. How the hell did you know? There was too many synchronicities. There's no coincidences. And I can't project that word with my teeth. Too many people, when I posted that picture, like I saw that movie the other day, rewatched it. Holy shit, Allison. What? What? That right there. That, in essence, spoke to me. He went up in the clouds. His essence emanated. That's Ascension. Told to you by a movie made in 1995 of a fictitious story. And it's, for me, it resonates. And I hope that if you have watched this movie, please leave it in the comments. Please tell me how this movie resonated with you. I also want you to insert your story, whatever that is, however painful it is, because we are now having to heal. Okay, all the astronomical alignments that are happening, all these retrogrades and all these like planetary shits happening, and we need that to heal. Mercury retrograde is on its way coming in September. We need to heal the past. Even though we live past, present, future all in one, we're only conscious of what we are in the here and the now. You have to heal what you went through. I don't know anybody that didn't have something happen to them in their childhood, in their, teenage years, that didn't shape or form them into the person they are today, make them either stronger or weaker. Our parents were not perfect. We chose them to learn from them. They are our guides. That's what our parents, that's why we choose who we choose. And each experience, we change what role we're going to give to each other, right? Next role, I might be the father. My dad might be the daughter. This is how this stuff happens. And we all have our soul family. We have our tribe, and then we have the greater whole. Okay, so we do come in with people that we have lived lifetimes with. Over and over and over again, we just switch the roles. All right, Dad, what do you need to learn? Okay, I can give you that lesson. Ex-boyfriend, you're going to be the narcissist. I'm going to be the empath this time around. Give me the traumatic kick in the butt because I need to have that lesson happen. Pets as well. I'm going to be your familiar, if you know what that terminology is. I'm going to be your protector. I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to help you, show you how to have unconditional love, because our animals give us that first. And again, you don't need to have animals in the house. Listen, I used to be deathly allergic to cats until I had allergy shots. And I know that people are like, ooh, but I didn't have control over that. My parents were my consent. I'm able to have pets. I'm able to have 2 cats. Okay. But we put our animals in our lives, so for the most part. If you don't have an animal in your life, that doesn't mean jack shit. You have nature outside of your house, wherever you are. You have the birds, you have the butterflies, you have the dragonflies, you have a zoo. And as much as inhumane as zoo really is, it still teaches us to have compassion for animals because we want the best for our animals. We don't want to see animals hurt. We want to see and love each and every one of them, even if they are the predator and even if they scare us. You don't want to see anything bad happening to animals. That is giving you the first lessons in unconditional love. Put your situation, insert it here. When you go through Powder's life in this movie, you're going to start unlocking things that have happened to you that you're going to not, maybe you're not remembering right away, but watching this movie, there are going to come and recall instances. It's going to trigger you to something that's going to help you heal. And it will be different for everybody. So please take that as it is. This really helped me understand what I went through, how I'm treated, how invisible that I feel to the world, and how everybody looks at me like I'm fucking crazy. But then when what I do manifests into material existence, and they're like, you said that, and now I'm seeing a tangible evidence of it. I'm sorry I put you through that emotion. Or, wow, you're not crazy after all. And I don't need that validation from them because I'm secure with my own self. But there are other people in the community who doubt what they have and doubt what they are. And you got to embrace what you are. And there's a lot of people, lastly, I'm going to leave this last stuff. I know I'm going on a lot. There are people who feel the need to express that if you are acknowledging who you are and you have the abilities, you're the starseed, you're the this, you're the that. Many people put themselves on podiums and thinking that you're better than everybody else. Don't do that, because you're giving these people energy to feed into, like you're putting yourself on a pedestal. We're all equal. You might be a higher density entity, but you're in a 3D form. So guess what? You are as equal to everybody else that is here. We all have the abilities. We need to work on them. We need to work on ourselves. We have to heal ourselves. We all have to help each other in every scenario. This is why I come up with, this is why Spirit gave me the Amish mindset to make me watch that video. I don't care about the Amish so much. Like I'm not, I'm not following them, but at the same time, we need to understand we all need each other in order for the grander picture to come together. And if we're like the monks that are in the biggest temple ever, all focusing in on the one thing that needs to happen, which is world peace, prosperity for all, abundance for all, it'll manifest hell of a lot quicker than if we all just do it in our own time. So we need to understand, as individualized as we are, we all need to come together as community. But when people are, I'm the starseed from the Pleiades system, and I'm on my throne, and I'm better than you, we got to stop doing that, guys. Embrace who you are. Stand in your sovereignty and say what you are. There's no reason to have that not happen. I'm sorry. There are people that don't think that. You have to embrace who you are. I know what I am. I am that I am, and I tell you what I am, so you understand where I'm coming from when I'm talking. Does that mean that I'm going to psychically get myself to win the lottery and I'm going to have all this abundance? No. I'm still a 3D human going through 3D hell, because we're in the hell matrix, right? We're in Satan's playground, and I'm being tortured for a lesson. Many multiple lessons, layered lessons, on top of lessons, beyond lessons, in lessons, to advance my soul to get to this point where I'm going to electrify up into the universe, and I'm going to just emote my beautiful light. I want that. I want to be able to touch somebody that they feel how I feel, because they need to learn that what they're saying and doing is making me feel a certain way. And when I tell them that, they don't quite grasp that concept. Well, here, I'm going to touch you and you're going to feel how I feel so that you can better your response or reword your wording. We're human. We're all equal. Start treating each other that way. And again, Amish mindset. What did you do today to help somebody in your community? And whatever community, it could be online, it could be in your outside community, the people, your neighbors. What did you do today to help somebody out? Did you like somebody's post? Did you repost something that resonated with you? Did you share something good on your social media that will uplift people's, a cute little animal picture? Are you supporting people in your community that is having their own, their own business? Did you read a book that was so profound for you that you're going to now outreach it and share it with people and say, hey, I read this book and I think you should read it. You're an expert in something. Do you know how many times I'm like talking about my realtor, but I have realtor friends, but none of them, people get a little shocked that I didn't take them for my house. I don't mix my friendships and business. I don't do that because 98% of the time it ends in bad shit, right? I don't want to mix that. I don't want to lose my friendships with people or just my acquaintances. I don't want to do that. So people get butthurt about that. Stop, by the way. But you can give me your free advice on what maybe, options that I should be looking into and taking. Well, maybe I need help finding a rental or a situation of an in-between. If it's going to take me 60 days and I have to figure out where magic money is going to be pulled from the ether to help me eat and take care of the cats and to have electric and all that other stuff and my bills paid. Because once my phone is shut off, nobody's going to be able to get in touch with me. So, and people are telling me to do some very naughty things on the internet to make money. I have integrity for myself. Thank you very much. So, what can you do today to help somebody out? It could be as much as a like, a subscribe. It could be if you have financial abundance that you would like to give to somebody, and not to pay it forward, just a little something to help somebody get by. Are you doing that? Patriot community. I see a lot of product talking, but I don't see you giving some of the proceeds to people that are unable to buy and purchase those things. Because they're supposed to heal you and make you better, but the people who really need it are the people that don't have anything because they don't have the finances to buy all organic or grow their own stuff because they need the materials for that. So where are you putting it out there into the universe that you're going to help? I'm going to help you by you paying more in an expense for something, and then you're not sharing the abundance with the other people that are having to listen to this nonsense. And it's not to take away from anybody trying to do the right thing and to put out the truth and put out information for the people, but it's like becoming something where are you helping the community that's suffering the most? The people who are awake to what really is going on in our simulation. Are you helping the people who can't feed themselves? Are you helping the people in my situation that stood up for my sovereignty and I lost everything and now magically I'm supposed to like have everything fall into my lap? It doesn't have, life does not happen that way. Let's be realistic, people. So how are you helping yourself is helping other people because it's a part of you. Okay. I should be able to do a reading tomorrow. I have the realtor coming earlier in the day, not later. I am asking my prayer warriors to help me get a miracle happening tomorrow that I can sell quickly. I can get the money in my account super quick. I can pay all my debts and bills and buy or invest in another property and get that right away, squared away. So I am not stuck in the limbo. I'm not stuck living out of a car. I'm not stuck having my stuff thrown out because I can't pay for the truck and I can't pay for storage and I can't do all the stuff. I need things to happen. I need them to happen quick. And I'm really asking everybody to put just, in the universe that things work out for me in my best and highest interests. And I'm going to do the same thing for everybody, that I'm hoping that everybody stuck in a situation is getting the biggest and the brightest outcome they could possibly get, because we all deserve that. Many of us have worked super hard in this lifetime and we deserve a break and we deserve something good to happen to us. Instead of all the traumatic drama and loss, sometimes some of us are owed a break. I'm just asking for my break. As much as everybody thinks I have this crazy abundance, I don't. I'm abundant in love. I'm an abundant in helping other people, but I need to be abundant in my cup being full in order to do the work that I want to do. And I can't do that when I'm in a situation like this. So I'm asking for help and prayers and sending each and every one of you love and light. And go watch Powder 1995, the movie. I hope you enjoy this. Leave me comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you are applying this movie. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.